Now, with Tamil Nadu's assembly election scheduled for next year, politics is heating up. Of course, what's been taking center stage and grabbed headlines is the stampede that broke out in Karu during Vijay's rally. And since then, we've seen very clearly the AIADMK, the BJP, backing Vijay and his conspiracy charge. Now the AIADMK, Edappadi Palaniswami, has sparked alliance rumours by pointing to TVK flags that were in the crowd in an AIADMK rally and suggesting that talks have kicked off. Let's get you all the latest updates, the reactions in our report first.
As the 2026 Tamil Nadu Assembly elections draw closer, the political chessboard is heating up and so is the rhetoric. At a high-voltage rally in Kumarapalayam, AIADMK's Edappadi K Palaniswami tore into the DMK-led alliance, calling it a paper tiger ready to collapse. Surrounded by cheering supporters under a sea of AIADMK flags, EPS turned the spotlight on a possible twist. TVK flags spotted in the crowd. Without naming actor-turned-politician Vijay, he gestured dramatically and said, "Look there, the auspicious beginning, hinting at a possible alliance." But within hours, TVK insiders shut down the buzz, calling it over-enthusiastic AIADMK cadres and not official endorsement. TVK has consistently ruled out any alliances with the ruling DMK, AIADMK or the BJP, firmly insisting on contesting independently.
சுயநல அரசியல் லாபங்களுக்காக பாஜகவுடன் கூடி குழைந்து கூட்டணி போக திமுகவோ அதிமுகவோ இல்லை, நம் தமிழக வெற்றிக் கழகம் கொள்கை எதிரிகள் மற்றும் பிளவுவாத சக்திகளுடன் என்றைக்கும் நேரடியாகவோ மறைமுகமாகவோ கூட்டணி இல்லை என்பதில் தமிழக வெற்றிக் கழகம் மிக உறுதியாக இருக்கிறது.
Meanwhile, Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin hit back hard, mocking EPS and the BJP, saying that EPS is constantly looking out for crutches and claimed that the BJP is just looking for new slaves.
கார் மாத்துறதும் கால மாத்துறதும் அவருக்கு ஒன்றும் புதுசு கிடையாது. ஏற்கனவே பல கால்களை பார்த்தவர். ஜெயலலிதா அம்மையார் இருந்த வரைக்கும் அந்த அம்மாவோட கால், அந்த அம்மா இறந்த உடனே சசிகலா அம்மாவோட கால், அந்த அம்மா ஜெயிலுக்கு அமிச்சிட்டு உடனே முதலமைச்சர் ஆகணும்னு திரு டிடிவி தினகரன் அவருடைய கால், அதன் பிறகு கொஞ்ச நாள் மோடியோட கால், அமித்ஷாவோட கால், இன்னைக்கு பர்மனண்டா திரு மோடியோட காலில் போய் சரண்டர் ஆகிருக்கிறார் திரு எடப்பாடி பழனிசாமி அவர்கள். இன்னைக்கு தமிழ்நாட்டு மக்கள் அவரை எடப்பாடி பழனிசாமின்னு கூப்பிடுறது கிடையாது, செல்லமா முகமூடி பழனிசாமி அப்படின்னு தான் கூப்பிடுறாங்க.
With alliances still unclear and ambitions running high, Tamil Nadu's political script is only getting more unpredictable. With Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
So we've heard multiple statements from the TVK, from Vijay in the past, that said there's no way we'll have an alliance, Vijay will fight it out alone. But here's what's changed for Vijay that could lead him to consider now an alliance in the run-up to this election. All of it got to do with what happened in Karur, the stampede. Here's why. Essentially, what the stampede showed was a lack of ground support, leadership that the TVK desperately needs. There was clear lack of planning. That was evident in what happened in the stampede, the organization of the entire rally. There were loopholes that were exposed, as was the leadership. All of that exposed in the post-stampede response as well. The fact that you didn't have a second-level leadership actually out there in Karur meeting with the families. Everyone was asking, where's Vijay? But forget Vijay, no one in the TVK was present, and that's shown you clearly that there's no leadership really in the party beyond Vijay himself. And that's very much necessary in any political party, especially when you're so close to an election. Vijay was also very poorly advised in the aftermath of the stampede. What else explains him immediately dashing away from Karur to Trichy, taking a flight heading back to Chennai, and since then remaining cooped up in his residence? He's not got any big political backing in the sense of no one with big political knowledge in the party. And so an alliance perhaps will help him ensure that he has a better strategy to deal with different issues as well. Very importantly also, when the stampede happened in the days after, you had the NDA alliance, both the AIDMK and the BJP, echoing Vijay's conspiracy charge, taking on the DMK, suggesting that something was wrong here, essentially backing his conspiracy claim. And that meant a lot to the TVK as well, because they had backing in the political narrative that they were trying to push forth. But at the same time, the fact that the DMK has been cornering Vijay over the stampede, and the fact that Vijay has failed to really come up with any sort of counter narrative, shows you again that there is a lack of political depth, a lack of political knowledge which is needed in the run-up to an election, especially when you're so close to an election. And so with the lack of that in the party, in Vijay himself, because he's a newbie, or for that matter, everyone else who's part of the party, maybe he'll look beyond. Maybe he will consider an alliance. But let's get you more breaking news that's coming in. And there's been endless speculation about a TVK Congress alliance as well. Remember, Rahul Gandhi had spoken to Vijay after the stampede. And now you have, in fact, a cryptic remark from Udayanidhi Stalin. Remember, the DMK and Congress are in an alliance. And Udayanidhi Stalin was also seen, in fact, questioning whether the Congress is with the DMK or not. He said the hand will not leave us, referring, of course, to the Congress's symbol. A rather cryptic remark that's come in from Udayanidhi Stalin, where he speaks about whether the hand is going away and then says, no, we think it's with us. This was even as there were Congress leaders on stage at that event. Listen into what the Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister said.
இந்த அரங்கத்திற்கு என்னுடைய வாகனத்திலிருந்து இறங்கி வரும்போது கூட உங்களுடைய எழுச்சியும் உங்களுடைய அன்பை எல்லாம் பார்த்துவிட்டு தான் வந்திருக்கின்றேன். முழுசாக மேடைக்கு வந்து சேருவேன் என்ற நம்பிக்கை எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் கம்மியாக தான் இருந்தது. என்னுடைய கைகளோடு நான் வருவேனா, முழுதாக வருவேனா அப்படின்ற சந்தேகம் இருந்தது. ஆனால் என்னைக்குமே கை நம்மளை விட்டு போகாது. என்னோட கையை சொன்னேன், நம்பிக்கை உங்க மேல இருக்கக்கூடிய நம்பிக்கை, அதையும் சேர்த்து தான் சொன்னேன்.
A cheeky remark there. Pramod Madhav is joining us live from Chennai with more details on this. Pramod, there's endless speculation now whether TVK and Congress are in talks. Was Udayanidhi Stalin referring to that when he made that rather cheeky remark?
Well, Akshita, it's quite pretty cryptic, because in the state of Tamil Nadu, when you say Kai, it either means a hand or a palm, and this is a symbol of Congress. So in a way, Udayanidhi Stalin making this particular remark at this particular hour, and that too with a Congress MP on the stage, is quite something interesting and something that needs to be pondered about. And just like you mentioned, he tried to just say that he was overwhelmed with the crowd and everything, and he was wondering if he can come in one piece to the stage, if he can reach the stage in one piece. But the words he used is like, I was afraid if hands would come along with me. Then he's trying to give an explanation stating that if my own hands would come along with me, don't worry, hand will not leave us. And he said, I was talking about my hand. And then he said, in Tamil, Kai, Nambikai means self-confidence and self-trust. So he says, I was talking about the trust on me and you. So it's very interesting, because right now, imagine there are we got through sources we come to know that several leaders try to talk to Vijay, but one important leader who Vijay entertained and had a conversation with was Rahul Gandhi. And in the state of Tamil Nadu, I can clearly say that Congress has not taken a firm stance against anything Vijay has said so far. In fact, while speaking to Manikam Tagore earlier, we asked him how come Vijay is not criticizing the Congress government, for which he said that Vijay can only criticize about any government that is in power. That is why he's hitting at BJP and DMK. So that way they were distancing themselves from the TVK, and probably that has led to Udayanidhi Stalin getting this particular doubt, and then a kind of self-realization that hand will not leave them, Akshita.
This was no innocent remark. There was clear messaging involved in what Udayanidhi Stalin has said. But thanks very much, Pramod. Anyone's guess right now which way Vijay is looking, about whether he's in talks with these parties or not, because the TVK remains mum They say no alliance, but at the same time, there is all of this talk about how Rahul Gandhi spoke to Vijay right after the stampede. Let's bring in our panelists on this broadcast on what's happening really in Tamil Nadu and the big alliance suspense. Joining us is Kovai Satyan, AIADMK spokesperson. We also have Dharnidharan, DMK spokesperson with us on this broadcast. Mr. Shekhar Iyer is a senior journalist who will help decode what's really happening in Tamil Nadu. We also have Ranjana Nachiyar, TVK spokesperson, joining us on this broadcast. Vanakkam to all of you. Thank you for your time. Mr. Shekhar Iyer, as always, I'd like to begin with you first. On your expert view, sir, on what's really happening post the stampede, do you think the TVK and Vijay could be having a rethink on the need or the possibility of an alliance?
Akshita, definitely there is a rethinking going on. But at the same time, Vijay is biding time. He's biding time for two reasons. One, he is looking for some kind of a relief from the courts. He's probably waiting for the Supreme Court to take a call on his party's plea for a CBI inquiry. And basically, he would not like to rush into any kind of commitment right now. Well, it is true on October 6th, EPS had a discussion with Vijay, which has been confirmed by both sides. But at the same time, he has not given any commitment. But there is a pressure building up on Vijay from his own cadres who want him to join hands with ADMK. So that pressure is there because they feel post September 27th Karur incident, going alone is not a good idea because then DMK would be out to pressurize them at the even at the workers level, which is what by way of cases, by way of other way of hounding them. So there is a fear in the cadre, and so therefore Vijay. But the Vijay's problem is he cannot join ADMK so long as BJP is with ADMK. But if suppose Supreme Court were to take a call on CBI led probe, then that would need that he will have to look at ways of joining hands with ADMK and looking at its tie-up with the BJP.
Okay, let's bring in also a political panelist now. I'd like to begin with Ranjana Nachiyar with the Tamaraga Vetri Karagam, Vijay's party. Ranjana, yes or no, is Vijay open to an alliance now post the stampede, especially because you've got Mr. Edappadi Palaniswami saying that there's been a beginning already?
In an AIADMK meeting, former Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswami has said that the TVK flag is flying proudly and that the alliance will become soon very much stronger. And following this, like several media houses and other political commentators, they have started speculating about a possible alliance between AIADMK and TVK. But the TVK stand is very straightforward. Our party is completely focused on the people's welfare, good governance, honest governments, building a new political culture in Tamil Nadu. And
so what about the flags? What about the TVK flags that were there?
And we don't want any backroom deals. Also, any opportunistic tie-ups.
Okay. Ranjana, would you also like to clarify on the TVK flags that were there at EPS's rally yesterday?
Pardon?
Would you also like to clarify on the TVK flags that were there at that rally which EPS referred to?
That shows our party's youngsters, they still need a change in Tamil Nadu. Youngsters are very passionate about the new leader, Vijay. Nothing shows with the alliance. And the alliance talk came from AIADMK and not from TVK.
Okay, Kovai Satyan of the AIADMK is with us. Mr. Kovai Satyan, the messaging from TVK is very clear. We haven't said anything about an alliance. How is this coming up now?
It is coming up because media is more interested and they want to speculate more.
No,
Mr.
Satyan, this is what is said every time. But this time we have a comment from Mr. Edappadi Palaniswami. Help me decipher what he meant by it.
Allow me to make my statement, please.
Sure.
This is not the first time where my leader is making a statement that there will be a formidable alliance that will challenge and it will emerge victorious. And once TVK started their political career and journey, it is the wish of every common man in Tamil Nadu. There were many statements from the common man stating that if TVK aligns with AIADMK, then the history will be scripted. History will be repeated like 2011. And what happened in 2011 is, after Vijay Gandhi's party formed an alliance with AIADMK, and yes, Vijay Gandhi took the opposition leader status, DMK lost the status of opposition, so history will repeat. This is the thought process. This was the thought process, it still is the thought process of every common man across Tamil Nadu. Now, TVK cadres have started to vouch their feel and opinion. It is up to the higher ups of TVK or Mr. Vijay to finally decide. But the flags are from the TVK cadres themselves, and this is not the first time it's happening. This is the second rally where TVK flags are being seen. So our leader said, there is a good start, and we will form a formidable alliance. Our leader EPS didn't name TVK.
No, he did refer to the flags, though. Mr. Satyan, it was in the same sentence. It was in the same sentence where he said, I see these flags. I see these flags flying high.
I say flags are flying high. It's a good start.
So then everyone's going to connect the two.
That's what he said.
Everyone's going to connect the two, Mr. Satyan.
One day is a big day in politics. You know it better than anybody else. So you cannot rule out any possibility, and you cannot say this will not happen. One day is a big day. And what the DMK was saying, that we are a very formidable ally and there are no cracks. 3 ally parties lost their status. Now Udayanidhi is forced to make a statement on their strongest ally, Congress. So changes are evident and it is happening fast. So the election fever is catching up fast in Tamil Nadu. And there are expectations being set. The larger expectation is, if TVK takes the right call at the right time, then it can also share the pie of the victory. That's the talk right now. So it's up to TVK to decide and come. So AIDM, it's not AIDMK's desperation, it's not my leader's desperation. These are all signals, which is emerging out of the TVK camp, not from us.
Okay, now the question that's come to the fore here between the AIDMK and TVK is who's kicking off these talks? You know, who's the one reaching out to the other? And that's something maybe we'll get answers to sometime. But right now, we just don't know because both sides are pointing fingers at the other. Dhanidharan of the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam is also with us on this broadcast.
Akshita, it is the cadres of TVK who are showing a bonhomie with AIDMK cadres.
Okay, Karu of the TVK.
There is a liking among the cadres of both the parties. That's what it is turning out to be by looking at the visuals and the scenes that unfold from the rally.
Sure. Let me bring in Mr. Dhanidharan also on this. Mr. Dhanidharan, is the DMK alliance and the DMK with their allies all one united camp? Because there's endless speculation that the Congress is actually considering a Vijay alliance too.
See, Akshita, it's very important to discern between the fact and an assumption. The fact is that DMK alliance has been intact since 2018. It was together for 19 election, 21 elections, 22 election, and 24 election. And there is no officially anyone has expressed dissatisfaction with the alliance officially. But another fact is also that AIADMK's alliance or BJP's alliance is still not fixed. They don't, apart from ADMK and BJP, we don't know what is the case with the other parties who are actually in alliance with these two parties in 2024. For example, PMK is not sure because it's been split into two. DMDK, we are not sure. So we are not sure about any other party. But as of now, on DMK alliance is intact, and I don't think why it won't be intact, because it's an alliance based on ideology. Why will Congress leave? Congress has been in alliance with the DMK in 2003. It is only the speculation that is created by people in the opposition force because they don't know how to defeat the DMK. So they come up with a speculation that the alliance is not intact. So apart from that, I don't think...
What's triggered the speculation? Let me tell you what's triggered the speculation. The conversation that Mr. Rahul Gandhi had with Vijay after the stampede. What was the need to do that, Mr. Dhanidharan? You know, a conversation between Rahul Gandhi and Chief Minister Stalin, I can understand. Why did Mr. Rahul Gandhi choose to call up Mr. Vijay? Why did he choose to dial Vijay after the stampede? That's what's triggered the speculation.
See, Rahul Gandhi is leader of the opposition. He represents 60% of the people in this country. When an incident of this nature has happened, he is responsible to speak to the party leader. I think he has also spoken to BJP sometimes whenever some incidences happen. So I think this is not, I think it's read out of context. And Congress and DMK alliance are very much intact. Why should it not be intact? In fact, it was my chief minister in 2019 who announced Rahul Gandhi as a prime ministerial candidate. And the seats of the India alliance were sown on 2023 March by my leader on his birthday, that when he said it's not important who forms the government, but it's very important who should not be the prime minister of this country. That form the basis for the India alliance in itself. And DMK has been integral part of India alliance, unlike several other partners of India alliance, although have been in and out and have been causing some trouble. But DMK has been integral part. There's no reason. But I think now the cat is out of the wall. Why? Because every debate had come on the Karu stampede also. I've been telling the opposition, that is the ADMK and BJP, wants to hobnob with the TVK, which is why they are not being criticizing Vijay for the lack of organized, by which the manner in which the event was organized, because they want him by their side. But let me tell you one thing: in politics, 1 + 1 + 1 is not equal to 3, by which an alliance of ADMK, BJP plus maybe TVK may not be the vote share of all these parties, simply because Vijay is trying to create an voter base, which is by which he's trying to say, okay, I am not by the both Dravidian parties, I am against the BJP. So he is trying to create a voter base of people who want to change the status quo, hypothetically, right? So when he will go and join AIADMK and BJP, whatever he has spoken goes to the mud. So he loses his credibility. So why will people, even who support him, will support him because after a month or two, he's changing his stance? When his stance so far has been that I will be an alternate to all the existing parties, because he is saying I will try to be the alternate.
Okay.
Whether or not is a different question, but the primary question is, assuming even if he is, if he's going to join alliance with the existing parties with whom he has vociferously, I think he's been very strongest opponent of BJP. So if he joins as a BJP, what is he told people? He is usual. He's just an opportunist. So why will people?
Let's say there are two options before Vijay, Mr. Shekhar Iyer. Let's say there are two options before Vijay. One is to go ahead and join this AIADMK alliance. Whether the BJP will be a part of it or not, we don't know. The other option is that Vijay joins hands, let's say, with the Congress. All this, of course, is hypothetical. What do you think Vijay would ideally like to do in such a circumstance?
Well, Vijay would prefer to go with the Congress for a simple reason. The phone conversation that you mentioned between Rahul Gandhi and Vijay was not the first conversation. They have had discussions before, and senior Congress leaders like KC Venugopal, who are also, picking up cues from leaders like Manikam Thakur, who feel that, for the Congress is to choose between Vijay, the face of a new alliance, or they realize that Udayanidhi is the future of the DMK alliance. So the choice is between two. And one more point, Akshita, Venugopal feels that probably an alliance with Vijay could help the Congress even in states like Kerala, where there is sufficient support for him, rather a fan following for him. So there is a lot of things going on. But at the same time, the Congress would also like to send a message, look, we have an option. Therefore, if we don't get a good deal by way of, number of seats to contest the next assembly elections, they have options.
Okay, Ranjana Nachiyar, is the TVK open to an alliance with the Congress? Before I bring in Dhanitaran and Mr. Kovai Satyan.
Yes, definitely TVK is open to alliance. We already have told that, and we are very firm. Under our leadership, under TVK's leadership, any party who's coming for alliance, we are open to it, and we ensure the shared governance. That is our model, TVK's model.
Okay, shared governance. You're saying you're open to an alliance. That's a clear shift from, I think, a week ago when I had the TVK constantly saying, no, we don't need any alliance. Mr. Dhanitaran, you had your hand up.
We don't need any alliance. Our party leader has already said that even from the day one, he says that we are open to alliance who accepts our leadership, and we are firm with that.
Okay, Mr. Dhanitaran.
Preposterous argument that Congress will join TVK, or rather that it will leave the DMK alliance, because in my leader's opinion as well as Rahul Gandhi's opinion, both these parties are wedded, and also DMK in Tamil Nadu has given consistently 40 MPs in 2019, 39, and now 40. And this number is very important.
Let me just highlight here: zero representation to the Congress and the government.
No, for example, this has been the case. From 2004, it has been the case. In 2006, there was no representation. In 2021, there's been no representation. I don't think this status has changed. And the idea is also that whenever the Congress will form government at the national level, DMK will give a bigger support. And here, they will add support to us. That is the idea, and that idea has been working really well. But you tell me there is 40 member of parliament that is given from at the center, and also in Rajya Sabha about 12 or 13. So why will the Congress want to lose it when the DMK and Congress an ideological fit, and we have echoed the same thing in all matters? Is there any disharmony between the Congress and the DMK in any of the matters? No. That is why I'm saying it's an illusion, right? It's a wish of the people, wish of the opposition, like BJP, ADMK, and even the TDMK, that this alliance does not.
Okay, Mr. Kovai Satyan, you've got Dhanidharan suggesting that all of this is just manufactured by the AIADMK, all of this talk of the Congress getting close to the TVK.
The alliance, the ship is sinking faster for DMK. That's clear and evident. 3 political parties have lost their political party status and the symbol. Now the demands of Congress is increasing day by day. Now DMK is pushed to a corner to respond to them, stating that all is well within our alliance and the party. So there are desperate measures from the DMK side to stay afloat in the upcoming 2026 elections. Whether Vijay decides to contest alone, or he joins with AIADMK, or he joins with Congress, whatever may be the case it may be, Father MK Stalin's dream of crowning his son Udayanidhi after 2026 is not going to happen in Tamil Nadu. The door of exit is already been shown to DMK in the minds of the Tamil Nadu people, and it's clear. There is no way that DMK can do any magic to win back the confidence of the people. It's already 4.5 years, and people are waiting for the election day to come so that they can show the door.
Okay, Dhanidharan, quickly your response, and then I have to wrap this up.
No, if he's saying that people are against the DMK, and why are they bothered about the alliance? The ADMK can contest separate, like how Jayalalitha madam did in 2014, and then face the election. Indirectly have to say, we want BJP. Let them contest. Okay. People are the ADMK is primary. The opposition.
Let's take this challenge, Dhanidharan. I say on my party behalf, if situation warrants, we will contest alone. Can you make this statement? No, can you make the statement? If situation warrants, AIADMK has some muscle to contest. Can you make the statement now? Can you make the statement now?
No, we're going to wrap this up now. We're going to wrap this up now because I've run out of time. Kovai Satyan, Dhanidharan, Shekhar Iyer, and Rajana Nachiyar, thank you for joining us. What's clear here, and it's not just the Vijay factor, but what's clear even besides that is that in the run-up to an election, like in a state like Tamil Nadu, alliances make or break. And so that's why there's so much focus on who ties up with whom, who joins which camp. And the AIADMK, that's why is focusing on trying to woo Vijay as well, even post the stampede. Despite all of the negative publicity for Vijay, the outrage, the AIADMK clearly still believes that if you have one camp coming together against the DMK, it will help them in taking on the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam in Tamil Nadu. We're going to continue tracking all the updates that come in from the state, but let's shift focus to a news break coming in from Kerala. And this is an update coming in on the Sabarimala temple loot row, the controversy surrounding the loot of 4 kilos of gold from the temple. The Kerala government has now formed a special investigation team as per the directives of the Kerala High Court. Now, this is an SIT that will be headed by an ADGP rank officer and will be investigating all aspects of the matter related to the removal of gold-cladded copper coverings. This is from, in fact, the Dwarapalika idols of the Sabarimala temple. 4 kilos of gold that's been missing. The Kerala High Court had demanded that an SIT be formed to look into this. I'll bring in Pramod Madhav for more details. Significant development this, Pramod. There have been serious questions asked on who's responsible, who stole these 4 kilos of gold. We don't have answers years on. And hopefully now with this investigation, we'll get details.
But surely is Akshita, and it has also turned out to be a political issue in the state of Kerala with what happened in the state assembly and removal of the MLAs in the spot. And the very important aspect here is that like the Dwarapalakas and the entire roof of Sabarimala is covered in gold, and the devotees who have gone there year after year for 7 decades have seen that, including I've also been there and I've seen it in person as well. But right now, imagine for all of them coming to know that it was all this while it was considered to be gold, it was actually copper, and now there's been an issue because the donor actually said it was gold covered and such. That is why this special investigation team has been constituted to exactly reveal what happened, who are the culprits involved, and how did the gold was going to change into copper in that area, Akshita.
Okay, thanks Pramod for those details. Will the truth finally emerge? on the corruption that's been reported in the Travancore Devaswam board, on who's responsible for the loot of 4 kilos of gold. Hopefully, we'll get those answers very soon. And on to Karnataka, where, yes, again, the focus is on whether we're going to be seeing a change in Chief Minister. What's the latest update that's come in? India Today has access details of what's happening, and it looks like there could be a cabinet reshuffle. Some Congress MLAs have been backing Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivkumar for the top job, rather publicly at that, as Chief Minister Siddaramaiah will be completing that 2.5-year tenure this November. Essentially, the talk was that it's a rotational CM formula, the 2.5 years for Siddaramaiah and then 2.5 years for DK Shivkumar. And that tenure of 2.5 years comes to an end next month in November. And that's why sources tell us here on India Today that Siddaramaiah's camp feels a major reshuffle could actually secure his position. The idea? If 15 new ministers are inducted in the cabinet, the High Command then may find it difficult to actually change the Chief Minister immediately. And it's with this strategy that there's talk of a cabinet reshuffle coming in. Meanwhile, Siddaramaiah has also called a dinner meet with his ministers in a few days from now on October 13th. And sources suggest Siddaramaiah plans to drop nearly 50% of his current ministers, bring in an equal number of fresh faces. And so when there's been such a massive reshuffle, the High Command could hesitate on changing the Chief Minister too.
BJP ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು? ಅವ್ರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಆಂತರಿಕ ವಿಚಾರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು? BJP ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು? ಅವ್ರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಆಂತರಿಕ ವಿಚಾರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು? ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ವಿಚಾರ ನಾನು ಯಾವುದು ಭಯ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನೇನಾದರೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಏನು ಸಲಹೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಯಾರು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಯಾವ ಚರ್ಚೆಗೂ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಗೊಂದಲ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಪ್ಪೇನಿದೆ, ಡಿನ್ನರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ತಪ್ಪೇನಿದೆ, ಜೊತೆ ಸೇರೋದು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು.
ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವಕ್ಕೆ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಮನೇಲಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ವಿಕರ್ದೇ ಸಾಹೇಬಿಗೆ, ಸೋನಿಯಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ, ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ, 4 ಜನ ಸೇರಿ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಈಗೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಆಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡಿಗೆ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಕರೆಯುತ್ತೀರಿ? ಈಗೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೇನು ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ಹೇಳ್ದ, ಅದು ನೀವು ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಕೇಳ ಏನು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಲಾಷೆ, ನನ್ನ ಆಸೆ, ನನ್ನ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ, ನನ್ನ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾದಂಥ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯನ ನಾನು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಅಂತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ.
We are completing 2.5 years. There may be chances. It is left to Honorable CM and our DCM and High Command. Maybe there is chances are there. Anyhow, it is left to High Command. 13th, 6 p.m. he invited all ministers, not only Bangalore ministers, all ministers he called. I don't know the subject. Only after meeting we can tell.
Okay, let me bring in Nagarjun Dwarkanath joining us live from Bengaluru with more details on this. Nagarjun, season 100 perhaps of the Karnataka Game of Thrones, and we've seen all of this buzz before that never really translated to a change in Chief Minister. What's different this time? You know, is a cabinet reshuffle actually possible without the High Command's nod in the first place?
Well, that's true. The sources within the CM camp has said that Siddaramaiah did speak to KC Venugopal and others in the High Command last evening and put forward his request that he wants to do a big 50% reshuffle. And the plan is that if the High Command agrees for a big reshuffle, which means Chief Minister is here to stay for another year, because once a new CM comes, automatically that means new cabinet, and hence if you do a big reshuffle in November now, it is not possible to have another new cabinet once again, because its governance will take a hit every other day, every fortnight. If you keep having a new cabinet, administration will take a hit, and hence that's the reason why Chief Minister has waited all these months. Even though there was pressure from MLAs to have a cabinet reshuffle, his camp has planned to push this forward by November end, and hence thus telling, also giving a message to DK Shivkumar that he has to wait in the race. We'll have to see what DK Shivkumar and his camp members would do right now.
All right, wait and watch for now, because November next month is when the 2.5-year formula essentially comes to an end. 2.5 years of Siddaramaiah as the Chief Minister. So next month, hopefully we'll have answers on whether the High Command did agree to a change in CM. Thanks, Nagarjun, for joining us with those details. The Karnataka government has now approved one-day menstrual leave every month for women employees. This is now applicable not just in government offices, but also in all MNCs, IT firms and private companies. Now, while this move has been announced by the government saying they're committed to the well-being of women at work and for a more inclusive workspace, there are several issues with this move. First, while there are many women out there who need this menstrual leave, there are many others who don't. Menstrual experiences vary vastly. And so a blanket one-day leave doesn't account for the diversity. There are many of us who do not require that time off. To mention it as mandatory is questionable. But more importantly and more concerning is that this could perhaps do the exact opposite of what the government says of it being inclusive, which is that it could lead to discrimination against women in the workplace. How? Well, let's face it, women face enough challenges courtesy of a whole lot of stereotyping. And now the challenge with a one-day menstrual period leave is that employers may become hesitant to hire or promote women, fearing the financial and logistical implications of menstrual leave. And so, ironically, a policy designed to support women might actually push workplaces toward more gender bias. Menstrual leave should ideally be optional, should ideally also not be imposed on companies, because women face enough discrimination as is without this kind of blanket generalization to be added to our fights in the workplace. Let's get you a news break coming in on what exactly was discussed in that crucial bilateral that took place earlier today between Prime Minister Modi and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, where reportedly the Khalistani menace was also brought up. The MEA has confirmed that Prime Minister Modi, in his conversation with his UK counterpart, emphasized that radicalism and violent extremism had no place in democratic societies, and people shouldn't be allowed to misuse or abuse the freedoms provided by democratic setups. And this is a very important message that's got across from Prime Minister Modi to the UK top leadership, because we've been seeing multiple incidents of these Khalistani extremists gathering together, disrespecting the Indian flag, targeting the Indian embassy. And in light of all of these incidents, you've got a clear message going across from Prime Minister Modi. Listen in to what the MEA said.
Was flagged again during the discussions held today, and Prime Minister emphasized that radicalism and violent extremism had no space in democratic societies, and in particular should not be allowed to use the freedoms or abuse the freedoms provided by democratic societies, and there was need to move against them within the legal frameworks that are available to both sides.
Okay, let me bring in Pranay Upadhyaya of India Today Global for more details on this. Pranay, very important message that's gone across from Prime Minister Modi to the UK Prime Minister.
Akshita, and if you see if UK and India want to forge a better relationship, want a stronger relation and a strategic partnership, then this is paramount that UK remain vigilant and UK remain concerned about the India's core security interests and in India's core security concerns. And if you see, there is a reflection of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's, the concerns he raised during these bilateral talks with the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. There is a reflection of it in the joint statement. If you allow me to read from the joint statement issued by India and United Kingdom, which clearly states that the India and UK have agreed to counter radicalization, violent extremism, combat financing of terrorism, and cross-border movement of terrorists, which prevent the exploitation of the new and emerging technologies for terrorist purpose and tackle the terrorist recruitment, enhance cooperation in information sharing, judicial cooperation, capacity building, and strengthening the bilateral and multilateral cooperation in these spheres, including UN and FATF. So these are the commitments expressed by the UK in a joint statement. Now, what India expects that there should be an action on ground as far as action against the Khalistani menace, because we have seen, and many a times India has raised this issue with UK authorities, that these elements are not only problem with India for India, they are also problem for India-UK partnership, and as well as they are problem for the UK society itself. And now the kind of violence we are seeing in the Western sphere, the kind of violence we are seeing in many countries, including the United Kingdom, such kind of radical elements are responsible for those things. And for any civilized society, it is important to tackle and to take action against these radical elements.
And that was a very clear message that was sent across by India as well. That look, our interests also need to be protected by these allies of ours, by our friends. Thanks very much, Pranay, for joining us with those details. Big takeaway there from the meeting that took place between Prime Minister Modi and UK Prime Minister Starmer earlier today. We'll continue getting you all the big highlights, the big headlines from that meeting, much more. But that's all I have time for in this edition of Super 6. Thanks very much for tuning in.